Friends, today we will discuss about the top 10 unfortunate, or you can say embarrassing, deaths in our history. Number 10. Empedocles, died 430 BC. Death method: he threw himself into a volcano to become immortal. Empedocles was a Greek philosopher known for his classical theory of the four elements. He was the last Greek philosopher to record his ideas in verse. According to legend, Empedocles threw himself into the active volcano Mount Etna in Sicily to deceive his followers into thinking his body had vanished and he would return as a god. Unfortunately for Empedocles, one of his sandals survived the volcano's fury and was discovered by his followers, exposing their leader's deception. Number 9. Pyrus of Epirus, died 272 BC. Death method: he was killed after being stunned by a tile thrown by an elderly lady. Pyrus of Epirus was a great conqueror, but due to heavy losses in one campaign, the term Pyrrhic victory was coined in his honor. Pyrrhus was such a great warrior that Cleonymus, a Spartan royal, asked him to defeat Sparta and place him on the throne. Pyrrhus was defeated because he underestimated the Spartan warrior's strength, so he moved on to his next campaign in Argos. An old woman threw a roof tile at him from her balcony as he entered the city on the back of an elephant through the narrow streets. Pyrrhus was stunned by the tile, allowing a common foot soldier to stab him. Number 8. Eleazar Maccabeus, died 162 BC. Death method: killed by the elephant he killed. The story of Eleazar Maccabeus' death is told in the Old Testament book I Maccabees. Eleazar thought he saw King Antiochus V riding an elephant nearby during the Battle of Beth Zechariah. Eleazar jumped under the elephant and stabbed it in the stomach with his spear, thinking he was performing a heroic act by killing the elephant and king. Eleazar was killed instantly when the dead elephant fell on top of him. To make matters worse, it wasn't even the king's elephant. Number 7. Emperor Valerian, died 260 AD. Method of death: used as a footstool before being skinned. Valerian was a Roman nobleman who rose through the ranks to become Emperor Valerian I. The Western Empire was in shambles during his disastrous reign. Valerian was defeated in the Battle of Edessa in 260 AD and captured by the Persian king Shapur I. Shapur used the emperor as a footstool to humiliate him. When Shapur grew tired of his footstool, he had Valerian skinned, stuffed with dung and straw, and displayed in one of the large Persian temples. Number 6. Humphrey de Bohan, died 1322 AD. Death method: speared through the anus. Humphrey de Bohan belonged to a powerful Anglo-Norman family in England. He spoke out against the excesses King Edward II. Humphrey de Bohan, 4th Earl of Hereford, was killed while leading troops at the Battle of Boroughs Bridge. Humphrey de Bohan led the fight on the bridge, but he and his men were hit by arrows. Then, from beneath the bridge, one of de Harclay's pikemen thrust upwards between the planks and skewered the Earl of Hereford through the anus, twisting the head of the iron pike into his intestines. His dying screams frightened the advance. Surprisingly, death by anal insertion was not uncommon during the medieval period. Number 5. King Edward II, died 1327 AD. Method of death: a hot poker slashed through the anus. Edward II ruled England for 20 years, from 1307 to 1327. Edward's preference for low-born people and his extensive network of special male friends, who received lavish and expensive gifts, greatly infuriated the English nobility. Following his abdication and imprisonment, his wife Isabella, who was troubled by the close bond the king had formed with a young man in the royal court, arranged for his covert execution. On the night of October 11th, while lying in bed, the king was suddenly seized and, despite a fantastic mattress, weighing him down, and a plumber's iron that had been heated extremely hot was used to suffocate him, so that it burned the inner lining of his private parts through a tube into his portions that extend beyond the intestines. Number 4. Humayun, died 1556 AD. Method of death: fell down some stairs after tripping over his skirts. Humayun was a Mughal emperor who reigned over modern Afghanistan, Pakistan, and parts of northern India between 1530 and 1540, and again between 1555 and 1556. He was an avid supporter of the arts and astronomy, and as a result, he left a significant legacy. He was also very religious, which contributed to his downfall, literally. Humayun heard the Muslim call to prayer while carrying books from the library. When the call came, he would kneel on one knee, and as he bent his knee, his foot got caught in the folds of his long robes. He was at the top of a short flight of stairs. He fell all the way down and was killed when he hit his temple on a jagged rock. Number 3. Arthur Aston, died 1649 AD. Method of death: he was beaten to death with his wooden leg. Sir Arthur Aston was a career soldier best known for his support for King Charles I during the English Civil War. He was a fantastic soldier who saw a lot of action during his career. He fell from a horse in September 1644, resulting in a wooden leg that was later used in his murder. During the siege of Drogheda in 1649, Oliver Cromwell's forces attacked his town and gave the order to have everyone killed. Aston offered to surrender, but the soldiers who captured him suspected him of concealing gold in his leg. They beat him until his leg was broken open and then ripped it off. Unfortunately, it was made of solid wood, which killed Aston. Number 2. Julian Offray de la METTRIE, died 1751 AD. Method of death: ironically, by eating himself to death. Julian Offray de la METTRIE was a French doctor, philosopher, and theorist who is thought to be the father of cognitive science. He believed that sensual pleasures like eating, sex, and play were the only reason for life, and he decided to live his life according to that principle. Julian was an atheist who believed that life on earth was a farce to be lived and ended in self-gratification. Ironically, he died rather painfully after eating junk food and truffle pâté at a feast hosted in his honor by a man he had cured of a disease. Number 1. Bando Mitsugoro VIII, died 1975 AD. Method of death: he claimed to be immune to pufferfish, but died after eating one. One of Japan's most renowned kabuki, a sort of dance/drama, actors, Bando Mitsugoro VIII, was so well regarded that he was named a national treasure. The national treasure made the decision to eat fugu liver, which is extremely toxic, on January 16, stating that he was immune to it. The fugu chef who served him claimed that he was powerless to decline serving the lethal livers to such a distinguished man. Naturally, Mitsugoro passed away within 7 hours. Thanks for watching.